Hello everyone. In this video we will see what is this IC 555 timer. IC means integrated circuit. So an integrated circuit is an electronic device or an component or a component, as all of you know, that it consists of everything fabricated onto a single chip. This as you can see, this integrated circuit is 8 pin IC. It consists of 8 number of pins and it is bilaterally symmetrical. So it means bilaterally symmetrical means it has 4 pins on the left and another 4 pins on the right. So if it is an 8 pin IC, it is divided as 4 pin and 4 pin. If it is a 16 pin IC, you can see it is bilaterally symmetrical in a 8 pin plus 8 pin. There will be 8 pins on the left and there will be 8 pins on the right. So coming to this, so this IC 555 timer is a popular and versatile monolithic integrated circuit. So this IC can be used to generate precise time delays and time pulses whose duration and frequency is determined by externally connected timing resistor and capacitor. So it means it has all the components within inside. It is used to generate some time delays and time pulses, and the duration and frequency can be determined by connecting external timing resistors and capacitors, by making some external circuits on a breadboard or whatever connecting factors you can see. Through that you can make. So this is a 8 pin package, as I told you. It requires power supply VCC. So any integrated circuit needs power supply to run. So this power supply ranges from plus 5 volts to 18 volts. Yeah, here you can see the pin diagram of this IC. So 8 pins are there, each pin having its own function. So pin number 1 is ground and pin number 8 is VCC. So it means you are connecting the power supply to VCC and 1 to the ground. So with anything with reference to the ground, you are connecting. Pin number 2 is for trigger. Pin number 3 is for the output. So this is the place where you get the output of the timing part. And pin number is 4 is used for reset. It is used to reset the whatever the values you are getting. Pin number 5 is the control voltage. Pin number 6 is the threshold. Pin number 7 is the discharge. So this is the pin diagram of IC 555 timer, and you can see the functional diagram of IC 555 timer like this. Okay, so outside you saw the pin numbers, so which is like this. Inside, what is there? See, pin number 1 is connected to the ground and pin number 8 is connected to the VCC, and rest of the pins are connected here. The discharge, the trigger, control voltage, threshold voltage. So inside this you can see an operational amplifier. So you can see 2 different operational amplifiers. Inside that you see a flip-flop. So a flip-flop you will study in the next chapter. And you see 2 BJTs and a power amplifier inverter. So these are the components which are included inside functional diagram of 555 timer. So now we'll see what each pin is made up of. So that diagram showed what is the functional diagram of the 555 timer. So it consists of 2 op-amp comparators set as 2 by 3 VCC and 1 by 3 VCC. So you saw 2 different op-amps. So it is a comparator op-amp, and one op-amp, the first op-amp is set at the value 2 by 2/3 of VCC, and the second one is set at 1/3 VCC, using 3 5K internal resistors which acts as a voltage divider. Okay, now we will see what is the configuration of each pin. The first pin is the ground terminal. Okay, anything is considered with reference to the ground. Second pin is the trigger terminal. So if the voltage at this terminal is greater than 1/3 VCC, the output is low. If the voltage is less than 1/3 VCC, the output is high. So this is the meaning of trigger. Okay, any voltage greater than 1/3 VCC is the output becomes low, and any voltage less than 1/3 VCC the output becomes high. It is set in that way. And pin number 3 is the output terminal. The terminal may be high or low. Pin number 4 is the reset terminal. So when not in use, it is connected to VCC to avoid false triggering. The timer can be reset by making this pin low. Right? Usually the reset is used whenever it is not in use, and or you want to change the output at any point of time, it is used. And pin number 5 is the control voltage terminal, An external voltage applied at this pin changes the threshold voltage, which is 2/3 VCC. So it is set for 2/3 of VCC. Then pin number 6 is the threshold terminal. It is a non-inverting input of upper comparator. When the voltage at this pin is equal to or greater than 2/3 VCC, the output of upper comparator goes high, which in turn switches the output of the timer is low. Then pin number 7 is the discharge terminal. It allows discharging timing capacitor through timing resistor. So you know that the capacitor charges and discharges. So this is used as the discharged terminal. And pin number 8 is the power supply. So one of the application of this IC555 timer is oscillator using IC555 timer. How the oscillator is used using this. So you see the IC555 timer like this. So they have made some connections in such a way that it can be used like a oscillator. How this IC555 timer is used like as an oscillator. See, so pin number 1 is connected to the ground along with pin number 5. So pin number 5 is a discharge through which it is connected with through a capacitance of a value 0.01 microfarad, and pin number 3 is connected to the output. VCC is connected to pin number 4 and pin number 8 usually, and also it is connected to pin number 4. So pin number 4, as you know, it is a reset terminal. So why is it connected to pin number 8? To avoid any false triggering. Okay. Next, so the same thing is connected through a resistance to pin number 7. So pin number 7 is a discharge terminal. So it is connected through a resistance. Then from that it is connected to through one more resistance to pin number 6 and pin number 2. So you know that pin number 6 is a threshold terminal and pin number 2 is a trigger terminal. So they are connected together. See, pin number 6 you have it is set for the value 2/3 of VCC, and pin number 2 is set for the value 1/3 of the VCC. That you know, that's why it is connected together and it is given to this, and in turn it is connected through one more capacitance and given to the ground. This is the circuit of the oscillator using IC555 timer. So this is so you are seeing this connection through IC diagram. If you want to see it in a functional diagram, internally it is connected like this. So pin number 8 and pin number 7. So VCC is there. So pin number, sorry, it's pin number not 7, pin number 4 is given to the base of the second transistor. That goes to the power amplifier, which in turn goes to the output part. And here you are having a flip-flop, and you know that there are two comparator op-amps which are used. So from pin number 8 you are giving a 5k resistance, and so pin number 5 is given to the capacitance and connected to the ground, this part. So this part is here, and pin number 6 and pin number 2 are connected, right? Pin number 6 and pin number 2. So this is for 2/3 of VCC, and this is for 1/3 of the VCC. And here you can see pin number 7 from 8 to 7, this part. Okay, that is connected to first transistor. Okay, the collector is connected to the ground, and finally this is connected through one more capacitance with the ground. So you can compare the functional diagram along with the actual circuit diagram. So this astable oscillator, or it is called as astable oscillator or a multi-vibrator using IC555 timer. So this circuit diagram, this has this R1 and R2, which are called as timing resistors, and this C is a capacitor, and the power supply VCC is when the power supply VCC to be switched on, the external timing capacitor charges towards VCC. Okay, external timing capacitor charges through VCC through R1 and R2, and the timing constant is called as T. So T1 is R1 plus R2 into C. During this time output is high. When the capacitor voltage tries to become greater than 2.3 times of VCC, the upper comparator output becomes high. Okay, for if it wants to be greater than two-third of VCC, this becomes high. And during the discharge of the timing capacitor, this becomes low. The second comparator, one-third VCC, becomes the lower comparator, and that becomes low. So and that is in turn connected to the flip-flop. So the waveforms are like this. So whenever it is high, whenever the input is high, VCC is turned on, the capacitor charges, and whenever it is low, the capacitor discharges. Again, when the capacitor is high, input is high, the capacitor charges, and again when the input is low, the capacitor discharges. Okay, so this is how you get the waveform when you compare V0 and VC. So the time that the output V0 is high is that the capacitor charges. T high becomes 0.693 R1 plus R2 into C. So the you know that the formula of capacitance for the time t is equal to 0.693 into RC. Since you are using two resistances, you get R1 plus R2 into C. The time that the output V0 is low is the time that the capacitor discharges. So for discharging, you are using only one resistance R2, so it becomes 0.693 R2 into C. So the total time period is T high plus T low. If you add this, you get 0.693 into R1 plus 2 R2 into C. So duty cycle will be T high by T. It is T high by T high plus T low. If you substitute, you get this particular thing. So this will be, and if you solve, you get R1 plus R2 divided by R1 plus 2 R2 into 100%. And the frequency is 1 by T, which is 1.44 divided by R1 plus 2 R2 into C.